Well, hey there, everybody. This is Annie Noodle, and as many of you know, it is definitely no longer December. So we're gonna start out this slightly vlog, slightly painting video by switching out my calendar, which I definitely did in January, which was a couple months ago now, because definitely because my life has been buttery smooth lately. It's okay though, because here's my funny car. Just kidding, that one doesn't work anymore. Did I mention that my life has been buttery smooth lately? And here's some cat tracks in the snow for your perusal, and some little teeny little mice footy prints. So very cute. Look, now we're painting. Okay, so I am still doing mushroom art for a board game that I think it's gonna come out on Kickstarter this year. I don't know when it'll actually come out, but I think it'll be on Kickstarter this year. So I am still doing happy mushroom art for this board game. I want to call these botanical illustrations, but I kind of don't feel like they don't hit that for me. I mean, I think if I were going to do an actual botanical illustration, now that I have had a couple years to just sit and ponder this idea in my head as I've been working on these mushrooms, I think I personally would want to paint so much larger than life so that I can get all of those details in there. And I know that's what, in general, botanical artists do, is they just paint honking big things, even though the things are actually really little in life, so that they can get all of those details in that look really nice, and then they shrink the image down when it's reproduced and it looks amazing. And I mean, it's a lot of skill and talent, and it sounds like I'm downplaying what they're doing, and I'm not. It's hundreds of hours of work that they put into these, and I'm not putting in hundreds of hours of work into these. I am putting a lot of work into them though, and yeah. This particular one is a green elf cup, and it is tiny. If you are ever walking in the woods and you see a piece of wood that just has some kind of bluish stuff on it, these leave that behind. This kind of bluish turquoise kind of look. And then if you look closer, you can see them. I mean, they're pretty little, but I mean, they're visible to the naked eye. It's not like they're microscopic. So yeah, green elf cups. Would you like to know where they grow? Yeah, I don't know that. I didn't really do that much research. That's actually just something, I just know that they turn wood blue because I watch a lot of random videos late at night when I can't sleep. And, oh, look at that big cat hair. Oh. Yeah, so I watch a lot of videos, and some of them happen to be about mushrooms. I really wanted to finally get this video out, though. The reason why there is footage in here from January is that I seriously, earnestly meant to get 5 videos out in January, and yeah, that did not happen, and it just continued to really, really not happen. Yeah, because there was going to be this one, 5 mushrooms. I was going to do 5 videos and have them each have 5 things in it. And there's going to be this one, and then I think 5 projects that I want to work on, and then my 5 favorite things that I did in 2024 or something. I don't know, man. January is a long time ago, and it feels like a really long time ago now. What happened? Honestly, one of the big things is I got sick, and I just never stopped being sick. I don't know what it was. But yeah, I got sick, and then it was I went in to have a physical a few days later, and she looked at me and was like, "You look like you could have strep, but I don't think it's strep." And I was like, "Okay." And so yeah, I had a strep test done, and I did not have strep. But I had a sore throat, and my sinuses just got swollen and never stopped being swollen. It was miserable. Uh, hooray. To the point where like a couple weeks after my physical, so at this point it had been like 2.5 weeks, I think, that I'd been sick. I went back in because I was like, I can't live with this. Please do something about my sinuses. I think I have a sinus infection. Like, it just feels like everything is stuffed full of kind of radioactive cotton inside of my face. So, yeah, I got a amoxicillin prescription. It was delightful. Yeah, and that actually seems to have helped. I probably sound a little bit stuffy right now because, of course, it's warm out, and it's springtime-ish. I mean, okay, it is the beginning of March, and I'm in Minnesota, so it's the first fall spring. We'll have a couple more fall springs before actual spring, probably. But my sinuses don't know that, and they just know that they're allergic to mold or something outside right now. And yeah, I refuse to stay indoors. So to avoid that, yeah. So I am working on, this is another mushroom. That orangey part is a giant fungus. It is in fact called a giant Felinus or something like that. And it kind of just takes over like halves of trees like that. Like I think they might be one of the world's largest fungi. I know that word, so just hush. I know it. I had so much fun painting this one because of all these delicate little lines, and like I had fun trying to get the scale right because this is just a giant slab of fungus on the side of a tree that's fallen down. And yeah, it's like the entire lower half, like the underside of the tree is just this fungus. And yeah, it was fun. I like it. I think this might be my favorite one out of this batch. I don't know. Also, someday I will probably make some sort of merch with mushrooms on it. And I don't know what it would be. Like, I feel like fabric would be really cool to have like a whole bunch of these different mushrooms on it, or like towels, kitchen towels would be fun. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Or I won't ever do anything. But if there's anything you want to see these mushrooms on, let me know, because there's a lot of them now. I have a lot of them. Also, Tiny just came up to visit. There's a lot of cat footage later on. My cats have been very wanting attention lately, and I'm like, I don't know why you didn't want attention before when I just felt like laying around and feeling sick and didn't want to get anything done, and now I'm like trying to get things done, and my cats are like, pay attention to us. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna, because they're my cats and I like it. I like petting the kitties. But I also, like, I try to be a responsible pet parent, and part of that is actually, like, paying attention to the cats. So, yeah, now I am starting to put in, like, leaves and things from, like, the branches that, like, that could be overhanging this, like, downed tree. And the reason why it's at an angle instead of on the ground is, well, A, I wanted to be able to see the mushroom, and B, there's not a lot of reference photos for these, and the reference photos, like, the tree is, like, at an angle, I'm pretty sure. And so I just didn't even think about changing it. I just left it the way it was. Yeah. Gotta be careful using reference photos when there's not a lot of reference photos, because somebody will come along and be like, excuse me. Yeah, that's copyright infringement. So I had to try to be careful. But I think he turned out okay. I don't know why he's a he, but he is. In other news, did you guys hear that Joann Fabrics is closing, huh? Like, that's such a bummer for people who... There's a lot of communities in the U.S. that, like, Joann Fabrics is, like, your only way to get any sort of crafting or art materials at all. So to have them closing is kind of a bummer. I mean, I haven't really gone to them much, but like, I don't think there's another fabric store in the town I live in now. So not like a real one. There's like, little bits of fabric you can buy at, like Hobby Lobby or something. But I don't think there's a real fabric store, so yeah, I'm gonna have to like actually leave town to get fabric. And we're not this is not a small town, so that's kind of odd to me. But usually when I want fabric anyways, I like go up to like a bigger city and go to like kind of like a discount place and get like giant piles of fabric, which is why I don't really need fabric in the foreseeable future. If it's a craft supply, I probably hoard it. Like, anyways, fabric's awesome. I'm gonna go buy more. What else? So I started like trying to figure out how to actually run a business as an artist, and as a human, and that's been really interesting so far. I'm like taking an online sort of workshop, and yeah, I mean, like, it's really, I will never want to be salesy, and like this person is like, you don't need to be salesy. Like, you can just be a human being and people will want to buy your stuff because they like you and your story and they want to be a part of your community. And I'm like, yes, that's what I want. I like just want to have a community, and like, hey, if people want to buy my stuff, I will tell them how to get it. And like, if people don't, then like, that's fine. Like, oh, and by the way, since we're talking about it already, I do have a Ko-fi account, and if you like my art, you should go check it out. If you don't know what Ko-fi is, or coffee, or however you say it, it's like Patreon. It's like a monthly art thing. Although they do have a shop in there, and I'm going to start putting stuff in my coffee shop. It's going to be a coffee shop. That was the most annoying sound I've ever made, and I refuse to edit it out. All right, so now we are working on this new mushroom. It is a Liberty Cap mushroom, and that is all I know about it. There it is, Liberty Cap. I don't know anything about it. It hasn't showed up in my weird random viewings of mushroom videos in the middle of the night. So I will just tell you about painting it, which was fun. I am still working, by the way, with cat hair. With my, I just forgot every word I've ever known. Magello Mission Gold single pigment paints. That's still my go-to. Just thought I'll let you know that. Yeah, this was my favorite part of painting these, is painting these little lines. Yeah, so my goal, I mean, you know, like my absolute random goal that has nothing to do with anything else, is to paint an actual piece of botanical art sometime this year. I don't know what I want to paint yet. Like, there's a lot of stuff I could do, but yeah, so something very oversized. If you guys have ideas, let me know. It's not going to be a mushroom because I have painted enough mushrooms for right now. Yeah. Excuse me. I'm also not editing that out. Welcome to Lazy Annie. I'm going to get this video out tomorrow. So yeah, back to business stuff. I'm going to set up my coffee shop, my Ko-fi shop, so that I can have, I don't know, some of my stickers in there, and some of, like, I want you to be able to buy a digital version of, like, some of my sketchbooks, that I have already scanned, and they're just sitting there waiting. And I know that people have said that they wanted to buy them before, so I want to make those available. I am working on a coloring book, and so I want a physical copy of the coloring book. That is just it. I might do a digital copy too, but I definitely want to get it made into a physical coloring book. And in order to have that happen, I actually think I might do a Kickstarter. Hang on a second for this important message. We're getting ready to paint. Here's my tiny helper cat. Tiny, you gonna help me today, ma'am? Excuse me? Ma'am, you gonna help me? Oh, you're gonna help me. He's so cute. You're a good girl. Oh, blurp. Yep, okay, so that had to happen. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna do a Kickstarter for this coloring book. I have more work to do on it. I was going to release it Q1 this year, which would be, by the end of March. And I just don't know that that is feasible. Although I guess the coloring book doesn't have to be done before I release a Kickstarter for it. But yeah, I don't want to do that to myself. That sounds really stressful. Yeah. And we are working on a new mushroom, and there's not a lot of footage of it because honestly, I kind of forgot. But this is a bitter bracket. It makes goo. It makes little white goops. And that's all I know about it. Oh, and I also know that it's got all these little kind of fingy things underneath, little tiny little nodule thingies. And look, mushroom people, I'm sorry. I could have cared enough to look up these words and I didn't. Yeah, so you'll just have to forgive me. Or yell at me, whatever. Yeah, so these little bumpy doodles that are not gills, they're like other things. And I can't remember the name of them. And I don't remember the name of that sappy milk stuff that comes out of. Yeah, I'm just like, no. I don't remember things. But I think if I did an actual piece of botanical art, I would like do a lot of research and get like super into it. Yeah. But here's me drawing a bunch of little doodly doodlies under there. So yeah, anyways. What do you guys think of me doing a Kickstarter for my coloring book? And what do you think of Joanne's closing? And what do you think of painting mushrooms all the time? Yep, and so here is a new one. Look, I'm going to try to say this name, but I only know the scientific name of it, and it's like Pycnoporus sanguinus or something like that. It's pretty, and it's orange, which you'll see eventually. Here's more footage of, she's taking a bath. Tiny helping me. There was, like I said, a lot of cat helping me footage because they keep wanting to be in my space, which is why there's blankets everywhere so that I can be like, oh, look, I'll pet you and hold you, and now can you sit here on this blanket and let me get something done for a little bit, please? Yeah, so it doesn't always work, but I mean, like, you gotta have the blanket there and make the attempt and then deal with it when it fails. It helps when the sun is shining from that direction and then the cats are like, oh, I guess I could lay in the sun. That's fine. I'll lay in the sun and you can get work done. And here's Meow Meow. And he also had to come and help me. And I had to give him many pets. He's been super cuddly lately, and when he was a baby, he was like, just leave me alone. And by baby, I mean up until like 3 or 4 years of age. He really just like was kind of like that typical aloof cat. And now I think he's getting older and he's like, please just pet me all the time. And I'm like, and because he's getting older, like every time he comes up and wants attention, I'm like, I don't know how many more, months or years. Like, he's got health problems. I don't know how much longer he'll be around. So I'm like extra, unwilling to ignore him. But he wanted like attention like 16 times today. It was ridiculous. Just like constantly like, pet me, hold me. Yeah. And now he's currently like sacked out, sleeping on my poncho that my mom made me. It's really cute. I like leave the poncho like spread out on my dining room table, and like he likes to sleep on that so much. And then I have to feel guilty when I need to actually go outside in the cold, and then I need my poncho again. Yeah, well, it is what it is. And then sometimes I'm like, I'll just bear the cold. I don't want to disturb the cat. Cat people, you understand, right? So this is me painting bark. And yeah, that's a sable brush, but it's like 6 years old already and it was starting to get kind of funky. It is a Rosemary & Co. though, so it will last for a good long while still. Oh my gosh, we're at the end of the video, guys. So here's all of the 5 mushrooms that was for my 5 mushroom video. Painted a lot of mushrooms so far this year. Yeah, let me know if you have a favorite. I'd love to hear. I am officially going to try to get a video out at least every other week for the foreseeable future as part of my business plan. Yeah. And also a newsletter. So sign up for that if you haven't. Okay. Love you guys. Bye.